What the hell took me so long to get one of these? Okay, well, let's take a look what we've got in the box then. So straight away, it's a fair bit nicer than most other mouse boxes that I've received. So I guess that's all part of the premium look of the device. It's a pretty solid box. It's got nice blue trim all around it. Obviously it has a sleeve. This is the inner box. So this actually lifts up to reveal the mouse. So top marks for as far as presenting the mouse goes. I mean, look at that. Look at the design of that. That's amazing. The mouse is just resting there. So that just comes up. We'll have a look at that in a second. We'll set that aside. Underneath here we've got a set of instructions. What have we got here? Okay, so we've got the receiver, which looks like it has a USB extension. If there's nowhere convenient to put it, you can, I guess, put it around the back of your desk with the cable. You've also got interchangeable buttons here and a blank off plate. Let me just show you this really quickly. So on this side, this panel will come off, and you can put a couple of buttons. You can put those spare buttons in here, or you can just blank it off if you don't want to. Same as you can take these off of here and close it off, so you've got no extra buttons on the mouse. So that comes in its own nice little padded thing. You've got more warranty information and the charging cable. That's about it. So set over there. It's a pretty long cable. It's nicely braided too. And obviously it's got the connector on the end here, which is slightly different looking. It's a normal micro USB, but has obviously some guide rails to go into the mouse there, if you want to charge it or use it in wired mode. But really nicely packaged, really nicely presented. So let's take a look at some. Let's take a look at the mouse in more detail, and I'll give you some more specs of it. So looking at the mouse physically, it's obviously an ambidextrous design, meaning that obviously right and left-handed users could use it, and obviously that's more enforced by the fact that you can swap the thumb buttons. You can remove these, blank that off, remove this blanking plate on this side, and put two more buttons on there. The right and left click feel nice and shallow and sharp to me, which is the way I like it. You've got obviously the scroll wheel here, which has a really nice clean bump feeling to it. It's not sloppy like some mice feel. It obviously has the infinite scrolling feature that a lot of the Logitech mice have now as well. You've got the DPI profile switcher buttons there. You've got your thumb 1 and 2. Underneath, obviously the mouse has a lot of big, I guess, anti-friction pads, which would help it slide around on the mouse pad. You've got the sensor. You've also got the on-off switch here, and another button there which I believe lets you know the charge. You can press it if you're not sure how much charge you've got left on there. So obviously on the front you've got a obviously illuminated Logitech symbol. You've got your DPI profile indicators here, but also it doubles as a charge checker. So if you press that, you'll be able to see that it's showing 1 bar, which I assume is probably 30% or less charge in it at the moment. A really, really nice feeling mouse, a good looking mouse. There's no adjustable weights with this, which you know, there's neither here nor there to me because it feels just right to me. In the front we've got the import port where the cable would go. So that's a quick look at it physically. Let's put it on the rig and see what I think of it. So I've been using this mouse for a good couple of hours now. I ran a few games of Battlefield 1 and I ran a few games of Overwatch. Now, straight off the bat, let me tell you, I'm really impressed with how this feels and how it reacts. I've always been really skeptical of wireless mice. I had a Mamba wireless not too long ago, and I don't know what it was about that, but it wouldn't always sync right, or it had issues, or it felt jittery. I don't know what it was, and I think that turned me off. But so far, I'm super impressed with this, and I think this will be my new daily driver. Prior to this, I was using the G900 Spectrum. But the fact that this has no cables and it seems to have absolutely no lag, perceivable lag at all, is extremely impressive. So let me tell you a little bit more about it. Locally here, you can pick one of these up for around the $189 mark here in Australia. It comes with a 2-year warranty for that, and obviously it's Logitech's premium item. The sensor itself is well regarded as probably the best sensor available in a mouse at the moment. It goes from anywhere between 200 to 12,000 DPI. Its max acceleration is 40G, so good luck trying to hit anywhere near that. It obviously has lighting zones which are controlled via the Logitech software, which I'll give you a bit better look at in a second. But overall, a really nice mouse, and I'm really impressed. The battery life on this as well, I mean, that's something that's always a bit of a worry. The Mamba only, I think, has about 20 hours or less, whereas this is claimed to do 32 hours. So that's a lot of gaming in one charge. Obviously out of the box, it came with about 30% charge in it, and I've been using it for 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours now, and it's still going fine. One thing that I did do was the little receiver I've actually got in the back of my keyboard here, because my keyboard has a pass-through. So I've got the little receiver close. I don't think it would matter if you put it over in the back of the computer, but I figured, hey, if the pass-through is there, I'll use it. And so far, it's been absolutely flawless. So let's have a look at the software now. So this is what the software looks like for the G900. Basically, Logitech software is really nice. Now, I like the way that they've got everything as a visual guide. It's very easy to keep track of where you are and not get confused or lost. So basically, this is the home page we're looking at here. It just shows you the mouse that you're using and where the memory is stored. So obviously it has onboard memory on the mouse itself. Not much to see on this tab. The next tab is where you can set up your button assignment if you want to change anything, and your profile. So you can have 5 profiles on the mouse. You can see that you can have different DPI settings per profile. I've just got it set to 1800 because that suits me. You might like to have more, and in which case there's on-the-fly DPI switching. The next tab here is where you change the lighting, color, and the effects for the mouse. So basically over here there's a full RGB wheel, so you can dial in whichever color you like and set it. Each profile can also have a different color to represent what you're on. It can also have different lighting effects or styles. So what we've got here is you can turn the logo on or off, and the DPI area, which is just here, on or off. The lighting effect, now it says off there, but it doesn't mean that it's off, it just means that it's static. So this is really talking about the color cycling effect, where it just goes through the RGB cycle. And the breathing, so if you've got a select color, you can have it doing a breathing effect, and you can change the brightness of it and the breathing rate or the pace of it. The next tab is we've got battery information. You've got some different lighting presets here and some different information about the battery there. Next tab is surface tuning. So this mouse has a function called surface tuning via this software, where you can get it to sense your specific pad, and I don't know what it does physically or internally, but it's claimed that it can sense your specific pad and it will track better. Now it seems to track perfect to me on my mouse pad, which is not this one that I'm using. I can probably get rid of that. But it seems to work perfectly, so I don't know exactly whether that does anything, whether it's just a marketing gimmick. The next tab here is in relation to your button usage, so it's just a bit of a stat tracker. So if you're into that kind of thing, this will give you information on what buttons are most pressed, I guess your heat maps and all that kind of stuff. So some people might like to see that, and it's there if you need it. So that's a really quick tour of the software. It's super basic, very visually laid out, and it's easy to find your way around in, and it's not a confusing piece of software. So there you go, guys. That was my review on the Logitech G900. Would I recommend it? Definitely. I'll be keeping this one. This will be my go-to mouse, my daily driver now, which is interesting because I've been absolutely in love with the 502 for a long time, and prior to that, a Rockhat mouse, the Kony XTD. But this one here absolutely ticks all the boxes. It's a perfect wireless mouse, and it's as good as all the other reviews you've watched. So definitely gets my thumbs up and my strong recommendation. If you're in the position to be able to try one out, or even just buy one if you trust my judgment, then I recommend that you do so. So that's all for this video. Thanks, guys. Keep an eye out on the channel in the next week or so. I'll have a very interesting video coming up with my first sponsored video. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are too. So I'll see you on that one.